You know what they say about karma? Sometimes it takes 7 years to catch up with you, and when it does, it comes in the form of 2 6-year-old kids who are way smarter than they should be. If you've ever wondered what happens when a ruthless CEO meets his match, stick around because this story is going to blow your mind. And hey, if you're enjoying this already, drop a comment below. I love hearing your thoughts on these crazy family stories. No, I don't care if Blackwell Industries invested $2 billion. I'm not marrying their princess just because daddy wants a merger. Find another way to handle the Phoenix innovation threat. Sir, Victoria Blackwell is downstairs with a dozen reporters. She's claiming you two are having an engagement party this Friday. She's what? I never agreed to any engagement party. That's not the worst part. Phoenix Innovation Group just bought another 15% of our biomedical division. At this rate, they'll own controlling interest within 3 months. How is some mystery company outsmarting us? We've been in this business for 20 years. Who the hell is running Phoenix Innovation? That's just it, sir. Nobody knows. The CEO never appears in public. All communications go through their legal team. It's like they're ghosts. Get me everything you can on Phoenix Innovation. Financial records, employee lists, office locations. Someone that smart doesn't stay invisible forever, already on it. But sir, about Victoria Blackwell, tell her I'm in Shanghai on business. Tell her anything. Just keep her away from me. Alexander, you can't keep running from responsibility forever. That girl downstairs might not be perfect, but at least she's trying to build something with you. Grandpa, I don't love her. I don't even like her. She's using our family name to save her father's company. Love? You think I married your grandmother? For love? We learned to love each other through 43 years of partnership. You're 32 years old, and you've never brought a woman home to meet me. That's because I'm focused on building the company. Sterling Enterprises needs a leader, not someone who's distracted by relationships. Alexander, there's something about leadership you haven't learned yet. A man who can't trust anyone enough to love them will never truly understand how to lead people. 7 years ago, you came back from that business trip to the Hamptons different. You never told me what happened, but I know something changed you. Until you face whatever that was, you'll never be the man you're supposed to be. Sterling Enterprises, board meeting tomorrow at 2 p.m. Security protocols updated last Tuesday. Mason, are you getting this? Mom, I've been inside their system for 3 weeks. Their firewall is like a screen door. But are you sure about this plan? If Alexander Sterling finds out who we really are, he won't. And even if he does, Riley needs that bone marrow transplant. I don't care if I have to take down his entire company to get it. Mommy, I found something interesting about Mr. Sterling. He goes to Mount Sinai Hospital every month for blood work. Same day, same time. Almost like he's monitoring something specific. How? Did you find that out? I hacked his health insurance records. Did you know he has the same rare blood type that I need? The chances of that happening randomly are like 1 in 10 million. Riley, show me exactly what you found. That's impossible. The blood type, the genetic markers. Mason, run a probability analysis on this data. Already did, Mom. There's a 94.7% chance that Alexander Sterling is... Don't say it. Just don't say it yet. Mommy, does this mean we might actually have a daddy? I don't know, sweetheart. 7 years ago, something happened that I've never told you about. I met someone, but I never knew his real name. And I never thought I'd see him again. Well, we're about to find out, because tomorrow we're going to meet Alexander Sterling face to face. Sir, the car is waiting outside. Should we head directly to the office? Actually, let's stop by the hospital first. I want to check on the quarterly medical research funding. Alexander, perfect timing. I wanted to surprise you with a welcome home celebration. Victoria, what are you doing here? And why are there cameras? I wanted to announce our engagement party this Friday. After all, our families have been planning this union for months. We've talked about this. I'm not interested in a political marriage. Oh, Alexander, you're so modest. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my fiancé, Alexander Sterling, CEO of Sterling Enterprises. Daddy, you came back. I missed you so much. I think you have me confused with someone else, sweetheart. Daddy, it's me, Riley. Don't you remember? You promised you'd help me get better. Ma'am, you're standing too close to our father. Could you please step back? Your father? Alexander, what is this? You never mentioned having children. I don't have children. Kids where? Are your parents? Mommy's right there. Daddy, why are you pretending you don't know us? I'm so sorry about this. Riley Mason, come here right now. Do I know you? No, we've never met. Kids, apologize to Mr. Sterling right now, but Mommy, you said his name is Daddy. Lady, I don't know what kind of scam you're running, but Alexander is my fiancé. These children are obviously not his. Ma'am, before you make accusations, perhaps, you should know that my mother owns a controlling interest in Blackwell Industries as of this morning. That's ridiculous. A woman with children working as what? A secretary. Can't afford proper clothes? Actually, Blackwell Industries stock dropped 47% in the last hour. Would you like to see the trading records? This is impossible. Who are you people? That's enough. We're leaving. Mr. Sterling, I apologize for the confusion. Wait, please. Your daughter called me Daddy, and your son just crashed a billion-dollar company with his phone. I think I deserve an explanation. Mommy, I don't feel good. Someone call. 911. Mason, is she diabetic? Does she have medication? She has a blood disorder. She needs to get to Mount Sinai Hospital immediately. James, call Dr. Mitchell. Tell him we're bringing in a pediatric patient with a hematological emergency. My car is faster than waiting for an ambulance. Why are you helping us? You don't even know us. I don't know why. But looking at her feels like looking at family. And I never ignore family. Sophie, her red blood cell count is dangerously low. We need to move forward with the bone marrow transplant within the next few weeks, or we're going to lose her. Bone marrow transplant? Is that why you were at the airport? Were you looking for me specifically? Mr. Sterling, this is complicated. There are things about Riley's condition that, Mom, just tell him. Riley's running out of time. Tell me what? Alexander, we've been testing potential donors for months. Your blood type and genetic markers came up as a 99.7% compatibility match. That's almost impossible unless you're my daddy. 7 years ago, the Hamptons, the pharmaceutical conference. There was a woman at the hotel bar. She said her name was Sarah Walsh. That was my maiden name before I changed it to Chen for business reasons. You were crying. You said someone had drugged you at a party and you didn't know how you'd ended up in the hotel. I helped you to your room. We talked all night about business, about dreams. You said you wanted to start a biomedical company to help sick children. You stayed with me until morning. You said if we ever met again, we'd build something amazing together. But when I woke up, you were gone. I looked for you for months. I hired investigators. I checked every hotel registry. Sarah Walsh didn't exist. Was scared. I was young, and I thought you were just another rich guy who would disappear. So I disappeared first. And 9 months later, you had us. Are you telling me that these two brilliant, impossible children are mine? Surprise, Daddy. Doctor, how soon can we do the transplant? We need to run compatibility tests first, but if everything checks out, we could schedule surgery within the week. Then let's get started. Whatever Riley needs, she gets. Money is no object. Alexander, there's something else you need to know. What now? Phoenix Innovation Group? That's us. I'm the CEO. You're 6 years old, and I've been outsmarting your company for 6 months. No offense, but your cybersecurity is terrible. So let me get this straight. My 6-year-old son has been running $1 billion company. My daughter needs life-saving surgery, and the woman I've been searching for 7 years has been right here in New York the entire time. Actually, we live in Queens. But yes, that's basically it. Daddy, are you mad at us? Mad? Riley, I've spent 7 years wondering if I'd ever see your mother again. I never imagined I had children, let alone children this incredible. I could never be mad about finding my family. But I need to know something. Sophia? Why didn't you tell me? Why build Phoenix Innovation as a competitor instead of just asking for help? Because 7 years ago, you were Alexander Sterling, heir to a business empire. And I was a college student who got pregnant after one night. You think your family would have welcomed me with open arms? Actually, we would have. Thank you for calling me, son. Grandpa, what are you doing here? I came to meet my great-grandchildren. Hello, sweetheart. I'm your great-grandpa, Richard. Great-grandpa, Mommy told us about you. She said you're the only Sterling who actually has a heart. Did she now? Well, your mother seems like a very smart woman. Young lady, I don't know what my grandson did 7 years ago to make you feel like you had to hide, but I want you to know that the Sterling family honors its responsibilities. These children are Sterlings, and that means they're under our protection. Mr. Sterling, I never wanted anything from your family. I built Phoenix Innovation to be independent, and you did a damn fine job of it. Mason, I understand you've been giving my grandson some healthy competition. Yes, sir. His company needed better leadership. I like this boy already. Alexander, this child has more business sense than half my board of directors. Grandpa, how are you so calm about this? An hour ago, I didn't know I was a father. Now you're planning family reunions. Alexander, I've been waiting 32 years for you to find someone worth fighting for. These children, this woman, they're what you've been missing. The question is, what are you going to do about it? Alexander Sterling, you will not humiliate me and my family like this. Our engagement. Party is in 3 days and you will be there. Ma'am, you can't be in here without permission. I don't care if you have illegitimate children. Rich men always do. I'll accept them as my stepchildren after we're married. Lady, nobody wants you as a stepmom. Little girl, you don't understand adult business. Actually, I understand business better than you do. Would you like to see what happened to Blackwell Industries stock in the last 2 hours? What are you talking about? Your company is now worth 63% less than it was this morning. My mother's investment firm owns 41% of your remaining assets. That's impossible. Your children. Victoria, let me be very clear. Alexander is not your fiancé. He never was. Your father's investment was a business transaction, nothing more. Alexander, tell them we're engaged. Tell them about our family's agreement. Victoria, there was never an engagement. Your father offered investment money and I told him I'd consider it. I never agreed to marry you. But the reporters, the announcement, I already sent invitations. Ma'am, my daddy doesn't love you. He loves my mommy. Anyone can see that. Riley's right. I never stopped thinking about you. 7 years and I never forgot the woman who disappeared from my hotel room. Alexander, we can't just pick up where we left off. So much has happened. I have responsibilities, a company to run, children to protect. Then let me help protect them. Let me be the father they deserve and the partner you need. No, this is not happening. Alexander, our families have contracts. Miss Blackwell, my family has no contracts with yours regarding marriage. Your father's investment was business, nothing more. Fine, but this isn't over. When the media finds out about your secret family, Sterling Enterprises will be destroyed. Actually, we already handled the media situation. What do you mean? The video from the airport has 3 million views already. Comments are 97% positive. People love a good family reunion story. You turned this into a media win? Mom, I'm 6, not stupid. Americans love stories about families finding each other, and they especially love stories about rich guys who turn out to be good dads. Sterling Enterprises stock up 12% on news of CEO's heartwarming family reunion. Mason, how did you know this would work? Because people want to believe in happy endings, and because your company's stock has been underperforming due to investor concerns about leadership succession. Having heirs changes that calculation. This boy is definitely a Sterling. I hate to interrupt this reunion, but we need to discuss Riley's surgery timeline. What do you need from me? Blood work, genetic compatibility tests, and a full medical workup. If everything goes well, we can schedule the transplant for next week. Daddy, are you scared? Terrified? But not of the surgery. I'm scared of being a father. I don't know how to do this. It's easy. You just love us and try not to mess up too badly, and when you do mess up, we'll hack your systems and fix things for you. I'm going to need to upgrade my cybersecurity, aren't I? Definitely. Your current setup is embarrassing. Alexander, about Phoenix Innovation. What about it? I built it to compete with Sterling Enterprises because I thought you were everything wrong with corporate America. Rich, entitled, careless with people's lives. And now I see a man who dropped everything to help a sick child he'd just met, who caught my daughter when she collapsed and didn't ask a single question about payment or insurance. Mommy, Daddy, are you going to get married now? Riley, your mother and I need to talk about a lot of things first. Like what? Like how Mom owns 47% of Sterling Enterprises through various shell companies and investment firms. You own almost half. My company? I was protecting myself. I needed to make sure you couldn't hurt us if you found out about the children. Sophia, if you own that much of Sterling Enterprises, you could have just walked into my office and demanded anything you wanted. I tried that. Your security wouldn't let me pass the lobby, is that true? Sir, we have strict protocols about unscheduled visitors. Mr. Parker, my mother tried to schedule appointments with you 17 times over the past 6 months. You always said Mr. Sterling was unavailable. Oh, God. Sophie Walsh. I kept getting calls from someone named Sophie Walsh asking for meetings about biomedical investments. I thought she was a sales rep. So instead of a simple conversation, you decided to wage corporate warfare against me? It worked, didn't it? I got your attention. I like her, Alexander. She's got backbone. I'm sorry to break up this family discussion, but I need to get Alexander to the lab for blood work. The sooner we confirm compatibility, the sooner we can help Riley. Of course. Riley, I'll be back in an hour. Daddy, promise you won't disappear like last time? Riley, I promise you that I will never, ever disappear from your life again. You and Mason and your mother are the most important things in my world now. Even more important than Sterling Enterprises? Especially more important than Sterling Enterprises. Alexander, I need you to understand something. When I found out I was pregnant, I was terrified. I was 21, barely out of college, and the only thing I knew about you was that you were rich and powerful, and you thought I'd abandon you? I thought you'd try to take the children away from me. Rich men don't usually let their heirs grow up in Queens apartments. Sophia, the night we spent together, what did we talk about? Everything. Your dreams of expanding Sterling Enterprises into medical research. My plans to develop treatments for rare blood disorders. You said you wished you could find someone who understood both business and medicine. And what did I say about family? You said you'd never had a real family, that your parents divorced when you were young, and your grandfather was the only person who ever really loved you. So why would you think I'd take children away from their mother? The most important thing in my childhood was family, and I barely had one. I was scared, Alexander. I was young and scared, and I made decisions based on fear instead of facts. I understand, but we can't change the past. We can only decide what happens next. What do you want to happen next? I want to save Riley's life. I want to get to know my children. And I want to figure out how Phoenix Innovation and Sterling Enterprises can work, together instead of against each other. And us. What about us? I've been looking for you for 7 years, Sophia. 7 years of wondering what if. 7 years of comparing every woman I met to a memory. Now you're here and you're even more incredible than I remembered. Alexander, I'm not the same person I was 7 years ago. I'm a mother now. My children come first. Always. Good. That's exactly the kind of woman I want to build a life with. Mr. Sterling, we have your initial results. Dr. Mitchell wants to see you both immediately. Alexander, I've never seen compatibility results this strong. You're not just a match for Riley, you're a perfect match. The genetic markers align in ways that suggest that she's my daughter, without question. In fact, based on these results, I'd say there's a 99.8% probability that you're the biological father of both children. Told you so. Does this mean Daddy can make me better? It means we can schedule your surgery for this Friday. The compatibility is so strong that the chances of rejection are virtually zero. Friday? That's the same day as Victoria's fake engagement party. Perfect timing. Nothing says, "I'm not available" for marriage like life-saving surgery for your daughter. This boy is going to run the company someday. What are the risks to me? Minimal. You'll be uncomfortable for a few days, but bone marrow regenerates quickly in healthy adults. The bigger risk is to Riley if we don't do this soon. Daddy, what if something goes wrong? Riley, nothing is going to go wrong. Dr. Mitchell is the best doctor in New York, and I'm going to be right there with you every step of the way. Promise, I promise. And after you're better, we're going to do all the things we missed out on. I'm going to teach you how to ride a bike and take you to baseball games and help you with homework, and you'll live with us? Alexander, we need to take this slowly. The children have been through enough upheaval. Of course. But Sophia, I want you to know that I'm committed to being the father they deserve and the partner you need. Whatever that looks like. Actually, I have a proposal for both companies. What? Phoenix Innovation has the medical research capabilities, and Sterling Enterprises has the manufacturing and distribution network. If we merge the companies, we could create the largest biomedical corporation. On the East Coast? Mason, that's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. We could revolutionize treatment for rare blood disorders. Plus, it would solve the awkward problem of mom owning half of dad's company. I knew I liked this boy. Sir, I'm sorry to interrupt, but Victoria Blackwell is holding a press conference outside. She's claiming that you're abandoning your fiduciary duty to Sterling Enterprises shareholders by prioritizing personal matters. Is she now? Want me to handle this? No, son. This time I'll handle it myself. Alexander Sterling is making decisions based on emotion rather than business sense. This so-called family reunion is nothing more than an elaborate con job designed to manipulate him. Miss Blackwell, are you suggesting that these children aren't Mr. Sterling's? I'm suggesting that convenient timing should make everyone suspicious. These people appear out of nowhere just as Sterling Enterprises is facing a hostile takeover. Miss Blackwell, you're absolutely right about one thing. Timing is everything, and the timing of your accusations couldn't be more perfect. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to be completely transparent with you. 7 years ago, I met an extraordinary woman. Through circumstances neither of us could control, we lost touch. This week, I discovered that our brief time together resulted in 2 incredible children. My daughter Riley has been fighting a rare blood disorder for most of her life. My son Mason has been building a biomedical company to help fund her treatment. They did this without knowing who their father was, without asking for help from anyone. Alexander, you don't have to do this publicly. Yes, I do, because I want everyone to know how proud I am of my family. Miss Blackwell is right that I'm making decisions based on emotion. The emotion is love. Love for my children, respect for their mother, and commitment to being the father they deserve. Mr. Sterling, what does this mean for Sterling Enterprises? It means Sterling Enterprises is about to become a family business in the truest sense. My children have shown more business acumen in 6 years than most adults show in a lifetime. Actually, I'd like to make an announcement. Effective immediately, Phoenix Innovation Group and Sterling Enterprises are merging to create Sterling Phoenix. Biomedical. Our primary focus will be developing treatments for rare diseases that affect children. How is a 6-year-old authorized to make that decision? Because he's the CEO of Phoenix Innovation, and he owns 41% of the voting shares. And because family businesses should actually help families. This merger announcement sends a clear message to the market. We're not just combining companies, we're combining purpose. Sterling Phoenix Biomedical will be the first major corporation specifically designed to solve problems that affect families like mine. Miss Blackwell, your father's investment was always contingent on business performance. I think you'll find that our stock price over the next few months will prove this was the right decision. You can't do this. Our families had an understanding. Miss Blackwell, the only understanding we had was business, and this is business. Better business than anything your family ever proposed. Dad, can we go back inside now? Riley needs to rest before surgery. Of course, son. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your time. We have a little girl to take care of. The week leading up to Riley's surgery was like nothing Alexander had ever experienced. For the first time in his adult life, something mattered more than quarterly reports and board meetings. He spent every day at the hospital, learning how to be a father to children who were already more capable than most adults he knew. Mason showed him the intricate computer systems he'd built to manage Phoenix Innovation. The 6-year-old had created algorithms that predicted market trends, automated trading systems that generated millions in revenue, and security protocols that made most banks look amateur. How did you learn all this? YouTube, mostly, and I borrowed some college textbooks from the library. You taught yourself international finance from library books? Mom always said if you want something done right, you have to do it yourself. So when Riley got sick, I figured out how to make money to pay for her treatment. Mason, you're 6 years old. This shouldn't be your responsibility. But it was. You weren't there. Mom was working 3 jobs to pay for doctors, and Riley needed help. So I helped. The simple statement broke Alexander's heart. This child had carried responsibilities that most adults couldn't handle, and he'd done it without complaint or self-pity. Well, you're not carrying this alone anymore. From now on, we're a team. Does that mean you're going to marry Mom? Mason, relationships are complicated. Your mother and I need time to figure things out. Dad, I've run probability analyses on your compatibility. Based on shared interests, complementary skill sets, and observed behavioral patterns, you have a 89.3% chance of long-term relationship success. You ran a statistical analysis on whether your parents should get married. Someone had to. You adults are terrible at making logical decisions about emotions. Riley was quieter than her brother, but her insights were just as sharp. She seemed to understand people in ways that amazed Alexander. When Victoria Blackwell made one final attempt to disrupt the family, appearing at the hospital with lawyers and claiming Alexander was mentally unfit to make medical decisions, Riley handled it with 6-year-old wisdom. Miss Blackwell, why are you trying so hard to marry someone who doesn't want to marry you? Because our families have obligations, little girl. You wouldn't understand business relationships. I understand that business relationships should benefit both parties. What exactly are you offering my father that he can't get somewhere else? I'm offering him stability, social connections, and a proper family structure. He already has a family. We're right here, but you're not legitimate heirs. You were born outside of marriage. Miss Blackwell, legitimacy comes from love and commitment, not from paperwork. My father chose to be here when I needed surgery. He chose to put my health before his business meetings. That makes him more legitimate than any piece of paper. The nurses who overheard this conversation later said it was the moment they knew. Riley Sterling was going to grow up to change the world. The night before surgery, Alexander couldn't sleep. He found himself in Riley's hospital room at 3 a.m., watching her breathe, terrified that something might go wrong. Daddy, are you okay? I should be asking you that question, sweetheart. I'm not scared. Dr. Mitchell explained everything. You're going to give me some of your bone marrow, and then my body will start making healthy blood cells. Riley, what if something happens to me during the surgery? Then Mason will take care of Mom, and I'll get better anyway. But nothing's going to happen to you, Daddy. How can you be so sure? Because you just found us. And people don't lose their families right after they find them. That would be a terrible story. You think life works like a story? The good parts do. And this is a good part, Daddy. This is the part where everything gets better. Surgery day arrived with media attention that surprised everyone. The story of the ruthless CEO who discovered his secret family had captured public imagination. Sterling Enterprises stock reached an all-time high as investors responded positively to Alexander's transformation from corporate shark to devoted father. But inside the hospital, none of that mattered. Alexander lay on a gurney next to Riley, both of them prepared for the procedure that would save her life. "Dad, I want you to know something." "What's that, sweetheart?" "Even if you weren't my biological father, I'd still want you to be my daddy." "Why?" "Because you came when I needed you. You dropped everything to help someone you'd just met. That's what good daddies do." "Riley, I need you to know something too." "What? Finding you and Mason and your mother is the best thing that ever happened to me. My whole life, I thought success meant building a bigger company or making more money. But being your father is the only success that actually matters." The surgery went perfectly. Dr. Mitchell later said he'd never seen a transplant take so quickly or completely. Within hours, Riley's blood work showed improvement. Within days, her energy returned. Within weeks, she was healthy enough to leave the hospital. But the real transformation was in Alexander. The man who had once worked 18-hour days now made sure to be home for dinner every night. The CEO who had never taken a vacation planned a family trip to Disney World. The bachelor who had avoided commitment proposed to Sophia on Christmas morning 6 months after Riley's surgery. The proposal wasn't elaborate. No fancy restaurants or hired musicians. Just Alexander, Sophia, and the children in their living room, surrounded by wrapping paper and the chaos of Christmas morning. "Sophia, 6 months ago, I thought I had everything I wanted. A successful company, financial security, respect in the business world. But I was wrong. I had nothing that actually mattered." "Alexander, what are you saying?" "I'm saying that you and Mason and Riley are my real success. You're my family, and I want to make that official." He pulled out a ring box, but before he could open it, Mason interrupted. "Dad, before you propose, you should know that Mom already said yes." "What?" "We asked her last week. We told her you were planning to propose. And she said she'd been waiting for you to ask." "You kids asked your mother to marry me before I did?" Riley giggled. "Someone had to. You were taking forever." Sophia was laughing too. "Alexander, I love you. I loved you 7 years ago, and I love you now. Of course I'll marry you, but I haven't even asked properly." Riley climbed onto his lap. "Daddy, just ask her, Sophia Chen, will you marry me and let me spend the rest of my life trying to deserve you and these incredible children?" "Yes." Alexander Sterling. Yes to all of it. The wedding was small, held in Richard Sterling's garden with only family and close friends present. Mason designed the security system to keep out unwanted media attention. Riley served as maid of honor, declaring that since she was the reason her parents met again, she should have the most important job. Victoria Blackwell sent a wedding gift, a hostile takeover attempt of Sterling Phoenix Biomedical. Mason deflected it in an afternoon, sending her a polite note that simply said, "Thanks for the practice. My cybersecurity skills needed updating." A year later, Sterling Phoenix Biomedical had revolutionized treatment for 3 different rare blood disorders. Mason, now 7, had been featured on the cover of Business Week as the youngest CEO in corporate history. Riley, fully recovered and bursting with energy, had started a foundation to help other children with rare diseases. And Alexander had learned the most important business lesson of his life. The best mergers aren't between companies. They're between people who choose to build something beautiful together. The story went viral for all the right reasons. Comments poured in from viewers around the world, sharing their own stories of unexpected family reunions, second chances, and the power of love to transform even the most hardened hearts. One comment stood out among thousands. "This story proves that sometimes the best business decision is choosing family over profit. Thanks for reminding us what really matters." That comment was liked by over 1 million people, shared across social media platforms, and became the unofficial motto for Sterling Phoenix Biomedical. Family first. Everything else is just business, and if you're still watching, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Have you ever had to choose between career success and family? Drop a comment below and let me know how this story resonated with you. And if you enjoyed this tale of corporate karma and family discovery, There are plenty more stories like this one. Thanks for watching, and remember, sometimes the best surprises come in the smallest packages.